Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the day it is. This is Celestial coming to you with video number 2. Trying to do my part to help you live a happier life, a safer life, a life where you are not oppressed, where you are not defrauded, where you are not robbed, you are not harmed, because you know what your rights are and where to find them, what to do. You know that we're getting bombarded with a lot of bad news. Yes, we have to listen to the news because we have to know what's going on. But we can't just settle for the bad news and lament and regret and feel horrible. That is not going to help us. What is going to help us is to know the solution. You know, a lot of people bring you the news, but now there are many of us bringing to you the good news, and that is what you need. The real news, not the news to make you feel better, not anesthesia, to make the pain dull. No. The truth about how to solve this that's happening, the majority of the problems you see in the news are solvable. They have a solution. There is a remedy. And I'm not an attorney, and all the folks that are bringing to you this good news, they're not attorneys, and we don't need the attorneys because I'll explain to you later. But what we do need is the truth about who you are, truth about who they are, the government servants, who they are, what everyone's role is, who is allowed to do what, and who is prohibited from doing what. You need to know. All right. Everyone likes to... Okay, this video is number 2. This one is called Daddy and Mommy Are Home. Have the servants been treating you nicely, dear? Oh, what? They haven't? They haven't been treating you nicely? Well, let me look into this. Let's solve this together. Let's see. Let me know everything. Okay. If you want to understand what your rights are, stick here with me and I'm going to help you as much as I can help you. I will explain to you what you need to know to be with your shield, with your armor, to be protected, to be safe. You'll see what I mean. And if I'm not telling you the truth, say so. Write something. Tell me in the comments if you don't believe me. But I'm going to show you everything with evidence. Because when people talk to you out there and they present to you solutions, if they don't show you evidence, think about that. Why are they not showing you the evidence? Don't you want to know with evidence that you're standing on solid ground and it's not a mirage, it's not a invisible, one of those bridges with that's a projector? Okay, you want to know the truth. So let's start at the beginning. All right. So who recognizes this fellow right here? Okay, he is supposed to be, I searched him, it's King of Great Britain. This is George III. And if you remember, people in America had a fight with the people over there in England. And this is the king that was the king at that time. This is what I looked up. This is the guy. Okay. Now, he was not very nice to the people in America. So there were many people living in America and they were still citizens over there of England, and he was their king, and they were still considered subjects of this king. But he treated them differently than he treated the people living over there near him. Okay, so the American people lived in America, they didn't like it. It didn't feel right. They felt abused. They felt ignored. They felt harmed. And they were. And so they tried to talk to him. They tried to come to an agreement to, try to make, him understand that he's hurting them and to please stop. He didn't want to stop. I wonder why he didn't want to stop. And it's pretty similar to the people that are harming you right now. And just to start, there are good people in government. There are bad people in government. There are good people and bad people in all sorts of places. There are good attorneys and bad attorneys. There are good priests and then there are bad priests. There are good moms and bad moms. They're everywhere. Good guys, bad guys, you know how it is. Okay, I'm talking about the harm that you're getting from the government servants that are not nice, that are being bad, that are being unfaithful to their oaths. That's what I'm talking about. And this guy here oppressed them, so that our founding fathers decided after they won the war, they won, okay, they decided they didn't want to ever fall in the tyranny of another king or a monarch or any weirdo that wants to just exert his will on others, okay? And see, he's all dressed so fancy. Why? Because these are expensive clothes. He's in an expensive house, castle, whatever it is. And did he work for that? Did he really get up in the morning and work for that? Or did someone else work for that? And then he came up with his force and power and take it, right? A little taking here, a little taking there, just kind of like what's happening right now, a little take here. You work hard and someone takes. You work hard and someone takes it from you. Does that seem fair to you? Does that seem right to you? Well, it isn't. It doesn't feel right because it isn't. Okay, so this is what you need to know. All right. Now, life is not a game. Let me even check. The microphone's on. Yes. Life is not a game, but let's just for a moment think of it like a game. Like any game, you have to know the rules of the game if you want to have an opportunity to win. Any game, a sport, or checkers, or chess, or tic-tac-toe, whatever it is, football, anything, right? You need to know the rules so that you stay within the rules and you don't get called out that you did something wrong, okay? And then you need to know the rules to see if someone else, the opponent, is doing something wrong and you can call them out, right? You want to win. How can you win if you don't know the rules? Now, someone was supposed to be teaching the children in school these rules, these important things, just as important as it is to know your Bible. And I'm talking to the Christians right now. Whoever else is listening that does not believe in God, I'm so sorry for you. I'm so sorry. I'll pray for you. But for those who believe in God, you know that God has certain ways. He has a way that He is. He has His own personality, His own character, His own tastes, His own wishes. He wants things done a certain way. And He created us with love, and He created us, and He didn't want us to harm each other because we all belong to Him. So this one person over here or that one over there, they can't harm each other. They're not supposed to. They're supposed to be loving and kind, courteous and sweet, and all this good stuff, right? Okay, they're not. Okay, we have to know the rules of this game. Think of it like a game. What are the rules in America, in the United States of America? Did you notice that everyone, all three branches of government, they do things in a certain way, they follow certain procedures and orders, they have the rules and regulations of who sits where, when they meet, why they meet, when do they have their vacation time, right? Okay, all of these things, they're working in a certain pattern, in a certain way, as though they're bound by some kind of rules, right? Okay, that's because they are supposed to be behaving, guided, corralled by rules, the rules of this game. You're going to know the game because, let me tell you, who is teaching you the rules of this game? Because if you notice, there are so many laws, so many laws, right? Codes, regulations, edicts, mandates, all of these things. Well, which one of those is the highest? Which one trumps? Okay, which one beats the other one? Because you got to know what beats what. When you're playing card game, you have to know when your hand, which one is going to beat their hand, right? You have to know what is more powerful than something else. All right. When you're playing Risk, the little cannon and the little soldier, which one is more powerful, right? So we're going to think of this as a game. We're going to learn the rules. Attorneys are not teaching you these rules. The schools are not teaching you these rules, right? The judges are not teaching you these rules. And if they are, please post it. Who is teaching us the rules in America, how to play this game? Who's teaching you what your rights are? Who's teaching you that? Who's teaching you it? So that you know what to do. Or they just surprise you at, oh, there's another rule, there's another regulation, another statute, another code. What do I do? Oh, I can't park here today. Oh, I can't park there on Monday. I can't park here on Tuesday. Oh no, this one's from 2 to 4, you cannot make a right. Oh, from whatever 5 to 6, you can't make a left. Oh my gosh, you speed it. All of these rules and rules, right? Okay. Let's see, which ones are rules that you are supposed to follow and which rules are you not supposed to follow? Let's find out. All right. So, we won the war. This guy lost and he had to give up America. And then we have, you remember those guys, what are they called? The Founding Fathers. Wonderful people. The Founding Fathers. Our Founding Fathers. You know that when they, when the dust settled, they wanted to make sure that no king ever bothered them again, right? Before there was a government in America, the people were there. They were there, they existed, and they had homes, they had children, they had horses, they had chickens, they had, plants, crops, whatever, and they had to defend those things, right? They already had the right to defend them on their own, if as best they could, and they did, right? Okay. But then they got together, they consulted together, they came, they talked, they said, you know what? I wasn't there, but I know what happened. They created something called the Constitution, right? They created something. They created the government. Did you know that in this life, we are here for the glory of God, and we are here, it brings him glory to know his personality. It brings him glory to know his character, to know him, what he likes, what he doesn't like. It is glorious to know him. He is displaying his will, his personality, his wishes. He's doing that. We're watching, we're observing, and he gives us our will. We have the free will to do what we want. And then he has his free will to say, okay, all of those who do not want to be with me, you don't have to be. I reserved a little spot for you. You can go over there. Because over here, I don't want people hurting each other. I don't want people disrespecting. I don't want people talking back to me, trying to do their own will against me. I let you guys be free, enjoy lots of things, have taste and smells and colors and all this wonderful stuff. But you see how people want to do their own thing, right? Okay. So our founding fathers were Christian. They read the Bible. They're going to try to tell you they didn't read the Bible. They didn't know the Bible. They're going to try to teach you that. But there is evidence. Evidence in all the constitutions. You'll see the evidence of what they believed. Because, God he is to be praised. He is to be honored. We must respect him. We must honor him. He is Almighty God, a powerful God, the Almighty God, worthy of praise and singing. There are angels singing. There are angels saying, holy, holy, holy. Day and night they're saying this. And all the time it's spectacular that he's holy. He's so holy. They have to exclaim that he's holy. They can't stop. And they're not bored doing it. They love it because they're seeing his holiness. Okay, and he allows us to understand him by allowing us, because we're in his image, then we are allowed to experience things to help us understand him. That's why we have children. That's why we become, the ones that can have children. There's some who, because it's a fallen world, things happen and some people cannot have children. But you see people are, they have illnesses and this, because it's a fallen world, these things happen. But it wasn't fallen in the beginning, was it? So we are allowed to understand him. When we have children, we understand how God loves us. Because when our kids misbehave, we understand that we still love them. We discipline them. It hurts us that we have to discipline them. We wish we didn't have to, but we must teach them the way they should grow, the way they should go, and they won't depart from it. Okay, we have to do it because we can't neglect well, that's what God told us to do. So that's our responsibility to do that as parents. So, but we're getting to see how he is, the way he loves us, right? Okay, and everything else. And in the Constitution, we get to create the way God creates. He creates universes and planets and everything else, right? I mean, he creates really truthfully, right? But we get to create things in similarity to him. We're the image of God. We are the image bearers of God, and we get to do things to sample what he does. And so when we came together to consult for our common good, our founding fathers, because they're loving and they didn't want to have any more bloodshed, any more danger to themselves or to their children or their grandchildren or the grandchildren, their generations. They didn't want a king, a monarch, a tyrant. So when they got together, they wanted to make sure that there was no room for a king here. There's no spot created for a king, and much less a tyrant. All right. So now, before the government was created, the people were already there with their full rights, their full natural rights. And they created the constitutions. If you read the Constitution, it doesn't say we the government, right, creating this constitution. It doesn't say that. It's we the people. We the people are creating these constitutions. And the constitutions are a contract. I explained, I think, in the first video, right? How every government worker is mandated. It is mandatory that they must take their oath, subscribe to their oath before they enter into any government position, any government position, right? So we told them they must do this because we're going to let them borrow certain powers, limited certain powers to be used for precise purposes. And we didn't want them to become tyrants. Right? So we have separation of powers with the 3 branches. And now when we create this constitution, it is also a contract. It is a contract because it explains the terms of what they are to do, what they are to avoid doing. And you'll see that later in other videos. I'll show you where it says that they have to, there are things that are mandatory that they do, and there are things that are prohibitory they must not do while they perform their jobs. Specifically, is stay, like they say, stay in your lane, do your job, only your job, not someone else's job, your job. Okay, because everybody was hired for a certain task. So here's the Constitution. This is a picture of the Constitution now. Oh, here's Papa coming home to check out what's going on. All right. Now, here, if you recognize who this gentleman was, Benjamin Franklin. Okay, now I couldn't find all the pictures that were free images to show you the founding fathers, so I only found Benjamin Franklin. So I have him to show you. Now, you have to understand who the creators of the contract are. The creators are the owners, are the bosses. They are the ones expressing the terms of what someone else is going to have to obey. Now, from the people, like say there's all these people with their full rights, inherent rights, out of those people, certain of the number of the people, they wanted to become the servants working in the government that we were creating. Okay, they wanted to become the servants. Therefore, they had to not use all their rights. They had to park them, as it were, just park them, not use them. They're not free anymore to do everything that the people continue to be able to do. They enjoy their full freedoms, all of their freedoms. They enjoy them, okay? They have them. They didn't lose them. When they let the government borrow powers, they're not giving them away. Every day they're being borrowed. They're being borrowed because it continues. We have those powers resting in us. They are inherent, part of us, like our skin is part of us. Those are special rights. They're natural rights. They're inherent rights. They cannot be removed. They are given to us by God. They cannot be taken away by anyone. Okay. So when the founding fathers decided to go ahead and write the Constitution, they began writing it, and they have two parts to the Constitution. One part is the frame of government, and the other part are those rights that we have that we want to remind. The founding fathers wanted to remind the new employees, the government servants, because they're going to be almost slaves. That's how much this contract bounds them. It binds them. Okay, so they were supposed to express all these things, and so those two parts, they have the frame of government, and then they have the declarations or bills of rights. They put them there so that the government workers would know what to avoid infringing. See, they're supposed to do their job very carefully, always avoiding harming the people. And the whole reason for creating any constitution, the whole reason for creating the governments with those constitutions, contracts, is to benefit us, So let's, for a moment, look at just one of those provisions found. Well, this one is a preamble. Let's look at the preamble first, and to know these rules of how to play this game. We're going to imagine it's a game. You have to have patience to learn the rules, right? So you're going to have to invest time into learning these things. And there are many of us that are teaching this. So if you like someone else's style of teaching better, go ahead and go with them, and they will teach you. And I'm going to teach this style. This is for me. This is how I'm a mom. I'm not someone that was trained to teach, but I learned this, I studied this, and you can too, because it isn't that far to the moon. It's not. It's reachable. Why? Because it was made by the people for the people. So it's something that can be understood. It can be understood. It can be explained. You can explain it to your kids, because they're supposed to be learning this in school. They're supposed to be taught that they are the owners and they are the bosses of all governments. They're supposed to know that, and they're not being taught that. They're supposed to know that the government must remain and is to be accountable and amenable to the people at all times, not just once in a while, not just every blue moon or quarterly, whatever. It's at all times. Just think of it as You're the owner of a supermarket. Okay, one of those corner stores, when they have those mom and pop stores, or a huge one, whatever it is. You're the owner and you're the boss. You pay the employees, you hire them, you fire them, you decide who works there, and you assess them to see if they're doing their job properly. You're the owner. Let's look at it that way, okay? Now, if you're the owner and someone is working the cash register, do you have a right to look to see if they're giving the change properly, if they're giving the correct change? Do you have the right to know this? Or do you have to have the permission from the cash register girl or guy? Do you have to petition or ask them lovingly, please, wonderful employee, would you please let me look at the cash register? I want to see what money came in. I want to see what money is there, what money left the cash box. Do you have to have their permission? That is your market. You're the owner. You're the boss. You're the supreme one of the people. Okay? But you were not taught this. They touched a little bit in politics and all this. They touched a little bit of little light ones, so that you can see that, or you can say that, yeah, they taught you something. Ask your kids, ask them this. Hey kids, how many constitutions do we have? How many constitutions are there? Let's see what they say. Were they taught properly? Are they going to tell you 51 constitutions? Are they going to say that to you? Did you know there are 51? Maybe you already did, but the ones that don't know that, here's the information. There are 51 constitutions. And when one of the people decides they hope to be a government servant because there's a lot of perks in that, it's a good pay, benefits, all this, and they want to work there. Okay, so guess what they have to do? They have to swear to defend and uphold how many constitutions? Do you know that? Do the kids know that? Can you ask them that? Hey kids, how many constitutions are they to swear the oath to? Let's see if they know. Okay, for the states, it has to be the state constitution for where they live or work right there, okay? And the United States Constitution. Okay, kids, ask your kids, what about the people in the United States, the 51 Constitution? The government workers, that Nancy Pelosi and Schumer and all these guys, who are out there, Howley, Matt Gaetz, what do they have to swear to? Well, if they're in the United States, I found they have to swear to only the United States Constitution, to uphold, defend that. They don't have to swear to defend, uphold all the constitutions. They don't have that in there, but they do have responsibilities that are in that Constitution. They have responsibilities and obligations to the states. But when they say their oath, they say it that they're going to defend that Constitution, which has those responsibilities and obligations that they ought to do and they must do. Okay? But for the people in the states, they have to swear the oath for the state constitution and the United States Constitution. Let's see if your kids know that. If they know that. If they know that they can correct the government at all times. Do they know that? Okay. Do they know that the different types of rights that they possess? Do they know which ones they are and which one is inalienable and which one is changeable, removable, you can lose it? Do they know the difference? They need to know this. They need to be taught this. And if they're not, somebody is dropping all the balls over there. Somebody's popping those balls. They're doing something. They don't even buy the balls for the kids. They're doing something terribly wrong. All right. Let's see. Let's look at this, and I'm going to read this to you, and we're going to read it together. And I'll tell you where to find it. This is, you see down here, I have the link. It says Ballotpedia, Massachusetts Constitution. You can find it. You can, let me see, I don't know if I have it right here where you can see. You see, let me see, click on it. I have different ones open. Okay, this one is Section 4 of the United States. I have another one open here. This one is Section 2. This is, let's go to the top. This is the United States Constitution. Okay, and I came over here. Probably I'm looking at Article 4 right here. Okay, so you can see that you can go to Ballotpedia, you write in the state name, and then you write Constitution, and then you / Ballotpedia, and it'll send you here. So you can read it for yourself. You can see that what I am showing you is there. I didn't invent this. It's there for you. It's evidence. This is what I'm talking about, that when someone tries to teach you something as important as the rules of the game in America so you can win and you don't get your rear end kicked by someone that should not do that, right? You need to know the rules, because otherwise they're going to kick you around and hurt you. And we don't want that. I don't want that for you, and I hope you don't want it for you. And you don't have to put up with it. You don't have to. See, they're giving you bad news, but here's the good news. The good news beats the bad news. And this is what it is, that we're going to learn the rules. What are the rules? Let's see. First of all, you need to know who wrote the constitutions, right? We the people. Now this one says, we, therefore, the people of Massachusetts, acknowledging with grateful hearts the goodness of the great legislator of the universe in affording us, in the course of his providence, an opportunity deliberately and peaceably, without fraud, violence, or surprise, of what? Of entering into an original, explicit, and solemn compact with each other, and of forming a new constitution of civil government for ourselves and our posterity, and devoutly imploring his direction in so interesting a design, do agree upon, ordain, and establish the following declarations of rights and frame of government. See those two things, as the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. You see how there are these two things, these two big chunks, these parts, the declarations of rights that are in there, so they know what not to step on. Don't step on my toes, or it's going to be serious. Don't do it. And then the frame of government, because each state has their own frame of government. But when they give their oath of office, since they're swearing the oath to defend the state constitution and the United States Constitution, that means it brings in all the declarations of rights and bills of rights, and they have rights and privileges. They have about 4 names. They give these rights that are written in the constitutions. It brings them all in, and I'll explain to you later with evidence why that is, because, and I'll give you a little, what do you call it when they say spoiler, because we're born equally free and independent, and not one of us can have less rights than another one of the people, because we have equal rights to be equally protected in the law. One of the people can be protected less by the law than another one. So if they're protected pretty darn good over there, then that applies to me. That applies to you. Hey, look over there. They're getting a good deal over there with their rights, the Declaration of Rights, the Bills of Rights. That expresses what my rights are, because you know what? They already swore to support and defend all the Bills of Rights, Declarations of Rights, and the ones that are not even written down. And they're not less valuable, they're not less important, they're equally important. The invisible ones that are not written down, those are really important. And they can be in deep trouble if they infringe on those unwritten bills, rights that you have. They can be in a lot of trouble because they already swore. It's a contract. Why? Because we paid them. They accepted. This is the offer. This is what is required of you. This is what is prohibited. Do you like it? Would you like to work for us? Be pretty much an indentured servant. It's the closest thing to a slave that we have, because we can't have slaves, and they're the closest to be. But don't they act like they're our leaders? But they're not our leaders. We're the leaders, the owners and the bosses of the supermarket, right? That's us. Think of it that way. Think of them as a supermarket, and there's the cash register, and there's the one that's stocking the shelves, there's the one that's mopping, there's the one that's putting the sodas in the refrigerator and the milk here, and the butcher guy cutting up the meat. You don't want the butcher guy that cuts the meat with his outfit that he's required by us to wear, all white with a little hat so the hair doesn't fall into the food. You don't want him walking with the bloody, apron to the cash register to attend the customers. Do you want that? Okay, that's separation of powers. We told them they better not, or it's treason. Don't do it, buddy boy. Don't do it. It's treason. You guys look up the word treason and see what it means. Just please look it up and see the evidence for yourself what the word treason means, because of all the contracts everywhere in the United States of America, this one has the word treason in it. Do you ever enter a contract that has the word treason? You hire a gardener to come prune your trees, and he fails to come prune your trees when you said to come, and you say, no, you're in breach of contract, go ahead, just give me back my money, I'm going to go ahead and hire someone. You can't punish them for treason, can you? You can take away their job, that you gave them to do the pruning. You can make sure that they give you back the money, things like that, but you can't punish them for treason. But oh my gosh, this one has the word treason in it. Whoa, Nelly, it has the word treason. I wonder what that word means. Let's look it up, shall we? Let's look it up. All right, let's finish reading this. Do you see the word compact? That means that right here. It means an agreement or contract between persons, nations, or states, commonly applied to working agreements between and among states concerning matters of mutual concern. A contract between parties which creates obligations and rights capable of being enforced. Capable of being enforced and contemplated as such between the parties in their distinct and independent characters. A mutual consent of parties concerned respecting some property. Oh, the United States of America? Oh, okay. Or right, that is the object of the stipulation, or something that is to be done or forborne. All right, well, it says here, right at the top, an agreement or contract. Let's highlight that word. It's a contract. It's an agreement. Compact, agreement, contract. Compact, agreement, contract. Okay, that's what this thing is then. Okay, the compact. All right, it says here, we the people. Oh, it doesn't say we the government workers, the government people in government, the leaders. Oh, it doesn't say that. Oh, they weren't there yet? They weren't created yet? Their seat of office was not created yet by us? Oh, okay, so doesn't that tell you who the boss is? Doesn't that tell you who the creator is? We are the image of God. He lets us create things to experience, to understand Him. He loves it when we understand Him. Read His Bible, understand His Word. You have to, sometimes you have to read it more than once. You kind of do. I do. We do, right? Read it more than once, because then you get spoon-fed information. You get to learn more and more and more each time, right? Okay. That's what you need to do with the constitutions. You need to read that over and over because it'll become sharper and clearer and you'll understand it, okay? And look up words that are iffy, like what does this mean, okay? Look them up. Now, I forgot to tell you that it's from Black's Law 5th edition. That's where I found this definition, and I'll explain to you later that don't use some other one. Use the Black's Law definitions, the books that have a key. I'll explain that later, but let me show you. Oh, let me see if I have it handy. Okay, let me see. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know. I hope you can see it. Okay, see the picture of the key? You need to have that. Black's Law. Forget the 11th one. I would. Okay, you do what you want. Let's just say that. You do what you want. But for me, I'm going to stick with the one that has the key, and you can spend the money on whatever you want to spend it on. But I'm going to spend it on that book right there that has, I already did. I bought that book that has the key. Why would I do that? Let's see. Because we noticed that the terms, the vocabulary, because this is used by law teachers, law professors to teach the new attorneys, to teach the upcoming judges. They have to use this book. I don't know if very few law schools use other books, but I know the majority of them, the ones I know about, they use this book to teach the new attorneys, to teach the up and coming judges that are, they're become attorneys and they want to be judges. They have to use this. And we noticed that the vocabulary began to disappear, the meaning was incomplete. It was not all there. Now, wouldn't a book get bigger instead of smaller? Wouldn't, if it's very clear to explain something, why would they need to remove it? And why would it be words that just so happen to be the words that are powerful words that we need to know about? What about that? Like, for example, the words court of record. If you look at it in one book, it's there, and if you look at it in another book, lo and behold, it's not there. It's missing its parts. It's like looking at part of the elephant. Where are its legs? Where's the trunk? Where are the husks? Where are the ears? I don't even see the eyeballs. I see just the belly. What's going on with that? That's why we get this book, the one that has a key. Now you do what you want because you're the boss of yourself. You govern yourself, and you learn that no one governs you. No one governs you. You govern yourself. Every one of us, we govern ourselves. Okay. So there it is, the definition for that, which we need to have. We need to look up words, because another thing we've noticed is that, my goodness, the words, for example, constitution, where we create a constitution, we just found some places where our indentured servants, our employees, the ones that are bound and can be tried for treason, they started writing using those types of words. Like, they're kind of mimicking us or kind of plagiarizing our words. What are they doing? Because they have the word constitution too. They use it for their things, and it has nothing to do with our constitutions. It's something else. They also have bills of rights, and it has nothing to do with our bills of rights, but they use those words. And for that reason, like, for example, person, while it used to mean a man or a woman, and then lo and behold, it got tacked on and it started meaning other things. Well, I'll show you in another video where it started to mean corporations. It started to mean other countries, entities that were not a man or a woman, nothing alive. And that was called a person, and could go to court and sue and be sued like a person. But wait a minute, I thought people were persons. Well, they changed it. I wonder why they changed it. I'm not making judgments here, but I have an inclination to think in my head out loud here that it's because some bad government employees, the bad ones, not the good ones, are trying to trick us. Some bad, naughty employees, they're trying to trick us, aren't they? But we saw the trick. We saw the little magic switcheroony, okay? And so now we're not so easily tricked anymore, right? Now I'll tell you why, who enlightened us. I'll let you know later at the end of the video who showed us the way, who showed us the evidence. And that's why we're believers, because we don't follow just some guy, some random guy. We follow evidence. And thank God that it happens to be a guy that we really, really like. That's a plus. All right, so here. So it says here, you see how it says that the great legislator of the universe, you see, oh, that's proof right there that they're giving honor where honor is due. To God. Who else will be the great legislator of the universe? God. You mean they acknowledge God? And what are they talking about? His providence. Look at that. They're acknowledging God again. Wow, I thought they said that the founding fathers were not believers. They're not, they weren't reading their Bible when they used to walk around with their Bibles in their hands. Oh my gosh, that was the reading material of the day. They would get around the fireplace and start reading the Bible. All right. Now, we and then the people with each other, you see, it's us doing this. And what is it? Forming a new constitution of civil government. So now this constitution, that's to form this government, and it's going to have civil things. It'll be civil society. It'll have civil rules in it. But outside of it, the people are still there. They still exist. And no one is going to force them to join this, either to come in or make them stay. If they want to leave, they can come in, they can go out. They're free. People are free to get in here in the civil government or not. Because look what it says. Okay, an opportunity deliberately and peaceably without fraud. No fraud? You can't apply fraud to trick people into like joining this thing or staying in it? Violence, without violence. Oh, we can't force them to do stuff? Or we can't surprise them like, ta-da, surprise, you're in it, you're stuck now. Oh, we can't do that? Oh, okay. You see that? How it's there. And entering an original, explicit, solemn compact. All right. And who's this for? Who are they taking time out of their Sunday or Friday or whatever the date was? They all get together when we were several days. Why are they taking time to do this? Who is it for? You know, when you have kids, you want to give them the best of what you have. Whatever it is, you want to give them the best of what you have. And you hurt if they hurt. You're sad if they're sad. So in the same way, our founding fathers, they took time out of their lives so that their kids and the kids of their kids would not be victim to a monarch, to a king, to a tyrant, to a group of disobedient government servants. That's why they did this, and they were very intelligent men, and they read their Bible. They had wisdom, so they made sure that they wrote how to correct them. Okay, so now they created the Constitution by agreeing that they would. This is how, it's like God saying, let there be light. And there was light. Let's create this Constitution. Let's create this government. To create the seat of government. Let's do it. Let there be this. And with words, because this battle, it's not just our own battle here. It's the battle with God. You know who is fighting against God and hurting his people, right? I don't need to mention that's so-and-so's name. All right. The thing. It's not even a he or a she. It's a thing. Fighting with God. And because God is the Word, Now the battle is with words. Okay, so you have to know your vocabulary. You have to. I know we live a busy life where everybody's busy. Look at me, I'm staying late right now. Oh my gosh, it's 1 in the morning. I didn't even know. Hey, it's 111. I like that. I look for one. Okay. But I'm doing this for you. I made this for you. Okay. So they wrote this for, it says here, for ourselves and our posterity. Okay, I should have looked up the definition for posterity, but can you guys look it up? I'll put it in the next video, but posterity means us. We are the posterity, okay? That's us. It isn't just their nephews, nieces, and uncles, and relatives like that. It's all of us, all the coming generations in America, in the United States of America. We are the posterity. We are to be protected. This is written for our own good, for our benefit. Now think of this word, benefit, and make that a ruler. Carry it with you. If it benefits you individually, it's good. If it doesn't benefit you, now be fair, be serious. Now, does it benefit you? Okay, be reasonable. All of us can be reasonable and think about it. Don't be mean to someone else because you don't like what they're wearing or anything. Just think about, is this reasonable? Is this beneficial to me? Is it beneficial to you that you have to pay more in gas? Is it beneficial to you that you have to pay more for food, for rent, for your mortgage, for whatever, for taxes? Oh my gosh, my kids, they're working and like, oh mom, they are taking all our money with the taxes. Like, here's my check and look how much they took out of it. Where is it going? Where is that money going? Hey, can I look in the cash register to see where the money came in? Let's see where it's going. Or do we have to get one of those FOIA requests, begging them? We don't really need. In the Constitution, it doesn't say that they are supposed to be accountable to you and amenable to you at all times. Oh, but you have to first fill out the FOIA form that the servants, created. Does it say that in the Constitution? From now on, do this. Always ask them, is that written in the Constitution? If it's not there, they don't have it because it's a contract, because we wrote it down. If it's not there, they weren't granted this authority by us because it's continuously coming from us. Right now, that power that they have right now, it is coming from us. Right now, every second of the day, it's coming from us. The minute we turn it off like a water faucet, turn it off, they don't have that power anymore. They don't have that granted authority anymore. We can turn it off. For all those misbehaving indentured servants, we may have to turn it off and remove them from their seat of office because they're doing a very bad job, those naughty ones, those really very, very naughty ones, right? Okay, so we read this together. You see how it says of government? This is the frame of government. You see that it's the Constitution. You see it's a compact. It's a contract. And guess what? If you look, just Google up, just look up what are the parts to a contract to see if it's a binding contract, and you'll see that it is. We offered them a job. They wanted to work. They begged to work. Don't you see how much money they spend? Vote for me, vote for me. And don't you see how many of them, not all of them, but how many of them walk in, they don't have a lot of money. And then when they walk out, oh my gosh, where'd you get all those billions? All those millions and gazillions? Whatever it was. How did they do that? But did they go and work in a business and then do a business somewhere and make all those millions of dollars? How is it that they go in the government and they come out filthy rich? How do they do that? There's a specific amount of money that government employees make. How are they making more than that? How are they doing that? Because they're not supposed to be working in something else. Only one job, that job, nothing else, so that they can pay attention to that job, do it right. Or else why are they begging to get into it if they don't have time for it? If they got to run their auto shop, they got to run their whatever taco stand, and then they want to work for the government to get paid, and they still want to do all these other things. They don't have time for it. Why do they want to be in there? You know, go work your business, right? Okay. Anyway, excuse me for I will not ramble again. All right, here goes. Here it is. Compact. You can speed. You know that you can speed it when you listen to this. You can fast forward whatever you don't want to hear. You could also make it go faster, so you can listen really fast. You'll hear me talking like a fast pace, or you can slow it down. You can do that. So if I did ramble on for that minute, you could just bypass that. Okay, the next thing I want to teach you, the rules of the game so you can win, is this. Okay? What is the United States? Now I found this at Law Cornell Education, U.S. Code Text 28/3002, whatever. All right. I don't know. This says that it's 28 USC section 3002, and then in parentheses has 15. All right. It says that it's defining a term. United States means a federal corporation. Huh. So it is a corporation. I mean, I'm just making sure, right? Don't you want to be sure that it is a corporation? Now, you're going to get a lot of people telling you that we don't want it to be a corporation, that it's a bad idea to be a corporation, but just remember who it comes from. Look at the source. Consider the source. Consider the source, who it's coming from, because if it's coming from the people that you know that tend to be naughty, please go test it to see if they're right, because they're probably not telling you the truth. All right, we want it to be a corporation because it's easy to manage it. It's easy to see what they're doing, how they're doing it, and you can fire employees. They're employees, every one of them. They're not fancy pant, leaders. They're servants. They have to be nice to you at all times. They can't yell at you, they can't disrespect you, and they can't harm you and take away your rights, interfere, infringe, trespass. They can't do any of that. They're not supposed to. Or else, that lingering word, that pesky little word that's in that contract. What's that word that's in that contract that you don't normally find in other contracts, but it's found in that contract? It's an ouchy word. It starts with a T, treason. Huh. Remember to look that one up. That's why they're not supposed to infringe on your rights, because that is a pesky word. All right. I'm going to show you. Indulge me, if you would. You can make it go really fast, okay? Now, I collected all the preambles from 51 constitutions, okay? Remember that I told there are 51 constitutions? I collected them, put them together in one document so that you can see who wrote the constitutions, and remember, there are some tricksy ones. Of the original constitutions, they say we the people, and then we ordain, we institute, we create, we do all these things, okay? But lo and behold, you know how they do the amended constitution? You know how they do a constitution on top of the other one? When they amend constitutions, they can amend properly within the proper form, the framework of government, but the bills of rights, declarations of rights, they cannot undo those, they cannot reduce those, they cannot qualify them so that they become less. No. And even if they erase them with their magical eraser, they still exist, because that pesky word, these are enumerated and non-enumerated. The ones that are not enumerated, that means listed down, they still exist, and they swore their oath. They would support and defend the Constitution, which has those things in it. That's the contract. That's the whole reason why we created the constitutions, to carry those words, to make sure that when they worked, they defended those. Because we could defend ourselves before the government, we created the government. We could already defend ourselves, protect our family, our horses, our chickens, our crops, defend our children by ourselves. But some people didn't have enough guns, some people didn't have bullets, some people didn't have a leg, they couldn't walk around fast enough to defend. So they all got together and said, haha, great idea, let's create a government. Yeah, that sounds cool. and they'll defend our rights. Like, somebody just won't come and take my house, my horse, my little, spotty doggy. Yeah, it'll always be for our benefit. We'll make sure. And then all the people that wanted to work, can say, hey, I need a job. I can do this. I'm a good guy. I can do this. I'm a good gal. All right, but look it's not that I don't trust you, but if you want to work as a government servant for us, you're going to have to swear the oath. Because, I want to trust you and all this, but you know how it is. People tend to be corrupt. Things might corrupt someone, and we don't never know, right? Only God knows the heart. Only God knows the intention of man and what they're doing and hidden behind closed chamber doors. Only God knows that. He has eyes. He can see everything. He can see inside your thoughts. He knows way into the future what you're about to think. He knows every hair on your head. Only He knows what I don't know. I'm just a regular guy, regular gal. So how about this? Whoever wants to work for us as indentured servants, as government servants, our employees, you'll have to swear and abide by the oath. You'll have to take your oath and subscribe to your oath. And if you mess up, because we're about to give you some really pretty awesome powers, borrowed powers, we're going to let you borrow them from us. Man, you could really hit us. You could really harm us with that if you misuse them. If you use them unjustly, you can really harm us that way. Okay, so to make it really clear, are you sure you want to work as an indentured servant for us? Because we're going to make this contract pretty tough. We're going to make it so tough. I don't know who's going to want to work in it, but I think that's the only way to do it. We're going to have the word treason in it. And not only that, it'll only take two of the people to point and point out, highlight, flash the light to the same overt act. The same dude over there that's infringing. It only takes two people to say, hey, that dude over there, he's infringing on our rights. What's up with that? I thought he said he was going to defend our rights. Why is he attacking our rights? Why is he attacking me? That's not cool. Okay, do you see that he's attacking? Oh my gosh, I see that he's attacking. Well, I know all 50 of us see it, but it only takes two of us to point it out. But okay, all y'all 50, 100, you see the same thing that I'm seeing, right? Yeah, man, that's just not right. Okay, let's call them out. We call them out. They have to be investigated for treason. Uh-oh. Bad news. And guess what? They already signed their name on the dotted line. Guess what? They already got paid. They cashed their money. They cashed their check. It's a contract. We paid them. We're the bosses. When did you ever see an employee do the paying or a servant doing that? The boss of the store, of the supermarket in the corner, pays the employees, right? And they determine what the terms are. They decide who gets to stay and work. They decide who gets to be fired. You're fired. We get to decide that. Huh. Cool. I like that. All right. So I'm going to go really fast just to show you. This is the evidence. And you can look at Ballotpedia. Beautiful Ballotpedia. Thank you, Ballotpedia. Whoever you are. I haven't researched who's the one that wrote it. But thank you, because they're required to be accountable. The government indentured servants, they're required to be accountable to us, amenable to us, and they're not supposed to hide important need-to-know information, which are the constitutions. Okay, well, try finding them in the government websites. See how easy it is to find them all, and to find them complete, easy, accessible, and try to find other things in the government websites. See if they're all really obeying that accountability part and amenable part. Okay. Here, Alabama says, who wrote the Constitution? We the people. It doesn't say the government wrote it, does it? My gosh, look at that. It says we the people wrote it. We the people of the state of Alabama. All right. So, Alabama, we the people wrote it. All right, Alaska. Who wrote the Constitution, the first Constitution for Alaska? Because I know those rascally rabbits, they like to amend the Constitution. And if you're watching a movie, your favorite soapbox, your soap opera, your movie, then you're not paying attention to the employees over here, your servants, and you're not paying attention that they're changing the Constitution on you. And they're voting it in properly. And so now they change the framework, but they can't change the Bills of Rights and Declarations of Rights. And if they're missing, guess what you could do? You can go look at the old original constitutions, wherever the Bills of Rights are found, the original ones. You can use them all. Remember that thing about the numerated and the not enumerated, that they swore to defend equally the same? Not one of them says, oh, these are superior to those. The enumerated ones are superior to the non-enumerated. No, it doesn't say that. And remember this, if it's not written down, they don't have it. If it is not written down, they were granted them authority to do something. It was not granted, they don't have authority to do it. If we didn't give them the authority to do something, they are not authorized to do it, and they're making a big flopping mess, and they're going to be in trouble. They better get back in their lane, get back into the corral, and do what they're supposed to do. And if they busted up somebody's rights, they need to go ahead and redress those grievances. Make it better. Fix the ouchie. They messed up. Go fix it. And go back into the lane. Because, we can be merciful, but then we also like God. God is merciful. But God is also a God of justice. And to some people, He's going to apply mercy. To other people, He's going to apply justice. And we're in the image of God. We're going to do the same thing. Some of those little kids out there, those employees, those government indentured servants, we're going to apply mercy. Other ones, they're not going to get mercy. They're going to get justice. But if they didn't do anything wrong, they have nothing to fear. Right? If you didn't do anything wrong, what do you fear? You didn't do anything wrong. All right, that's good. So Alaska, we the people. Arizona, we the people. Arkansas, we the people. Their road, okay. California, we the people. Colorado, we the people. Who wrote the Constitution? The people. Sometimes they say we the people, sometimes they just say the people. All right. Here, Delaware, all men. Look at this one, I had to look for it. All men. Okay, here's all men. Power is inherent in them. They have all just authority. Okay, let's see. To advance their happiness. Who? All men. Okay. That's who. And it says here to advance their happiness, and they may for this end, as circumstances require, from time to time, alter their constitution of government. All right. So this one, Florida, we the people. Georgia, it says here, we the people. Hawaii, we the people. Idaho, we the people. Let's see, Illinois, we the people. Yes? Okay. And you could take screenshots of this, and then you can look at where to find it, but it's all in Ballotpedia. All right? We the people, there it is. Iowa, okay, Indiana was we the people. Iowa is we the people. They wrote the Constitution. We did, we the people. And remember, and their posterity, that's us. I'm the posterity. You're the posterity. We the people. All right, let's see. Might as well have fun doing this, when things get you down, when you're hearing a lot of bad news out there, seriously, go do something that distracts you and think of this. You have a solution now. You're getting this. Get into this. Come join our group. We're going to help you as much as we can, teaching you what we know, and with evidence. With evidence. If we don't show you evidence, don't believe us. Just don't do it. But if we show you evidence and it's the true source of that, then believe it. Believe your eyes and ears and minds and reason. You have that. You're smart. God made you smart enough to figure this out. And now let's do it together. I'm going to help you. You help me. How about that? We help each other. Now here, Kentucky, we the people. Louisiana, we the people. All right. Maine, we the people. Maryland, we the people. Let's see. Massachusetts. All right. We have more. Let's see. Maintenance, administration, government, security, body politic, for instance, individuals who compose it. Hey, I'm an individual. We the people. There you go. Okay, okay, okay. And then each citizen, the whole, and let's see. Here it is. We the people. All right, it is there. All right. Let's see, Michigan. We the people. All right. Minnesota, we the people. Mississippi, we the people. Look at that. I like this. Missouri, we the people. That's us. Look at that. Montana, we the people. Nebraska, we the people. Yay. Nevada, we the people. Oh, look at all of us. We the people. We're the owners. Now, New Hampshire, it does not have a preamble. I didn't find it. Can you look it up? Look at New Hampshire to see if there's a preamble. I didn't find it, so I wrote a note to myself that I didn't find it, but maybe I was in a hurry that day and it's there, but I was putting this together. I'm a mom. I have kids. I do some other things too. I try to. I also learn a lot. I know I'm kind of I'm addicted to learning all of this stuff. It's fun. It's a game. Think of it like a game. You learn all this stuff. Have fun doing it. Have fun correcting your indentured servants. Have fun. You can do this now. Get this information and you can have fun correcting them and putting them back in the corral, because they're out of their corral, aren't they? A lot of them, the naughty ones. They weren't supposed to go out and harm you, were they? They did harm you. You know that you have redress of grievance coming to you. Yes, if you know how to do it, you get redress of grievance. That's a big old humongous band-aid for the harm they did, right? But you have to do two things. You have to do several things. You have to learn what's going on. But there are two different types of papers that you write, and our wonderful group, they help us. We all help each other. We learn how to write those two pieces of paper. One is called a notice, one is called the affidavit, and there are a lot of people, since they figured out that we're teaching the people the correct way, then they sent people, agents, whatever, what have you, little infiltrators, to teach it incorrectly. Now, so it's up to you to learn correctly. How are you going to do that? With evidence. You can't lose if you use evidence. You're going to look at the source. If it's not in the source, it's not there. It's not evidence. That's how you're going to know that when you learn over here in our group, you're going to get the real deal. The real deal, the truth, okay? The truth, not these made up little outlandish, strange teachings. Not that. Okay, let's go. 130, New Jersey, we the people. New Mexico, we the people. New York, we the people. Okay, North Carolina, we the people. North Dakota, we the people. Oh my goodness, we all wrote that, huh? We the people wrote this. We the people, we're the ones setting down the terms of this contract. Do servants do that? No, the owner does that. The owner writes the contract for the employee. If the employee likes the contract, is willing to submit to that contract, he wants that paycheck, right? So he says, I'll take the job. All right, this is what you need to do. This is what you better not do, because if you do that, I'll lose clients. You can't come over here with your bloody uniform at cash register. You, cash register guy or gal, you can't go to the butcher shop, to the butcher station, and start chopping up the meat all wrong and mixing up the stuff and let your hair get into the food. You can't do that. You see how there are rules. We write the rules. They better obey them. Oklahoma, we the people. Oregon, we the people. We the people in Pennsylvania. Okay, Rhode Island. Come on, Rhode Island. We the people. All right. Let's see. South Carolina, here. We the people. South Dakota, we the people. Oh my goodness. I guess every state, we the people are the bosses everywhere in America, because we wrote the constitutions and we're the posterity. We the people in Tennessee. Let's see. You can fast forward this if you get bored, but I'm going to read it anyway. Texas, okay, here's the people. See, the people, and look at this right here, do ordain. We are the only ones who have the power to ordain something, to establish something, to institute something, create something. It's the powerful people. Look, God is letting us understand Him, and He is the all-powerful, mighty God. And he's letting us understand a little bit of that. We're the all-powerful, because you'll see in the constitutions, I'll show you where it says, we have, the word is A-L-L, all political power. It doesn't say 90% political power, it doesn't say 80, it doesn't say 50%, it says one. It says all political power is in the people, originates from the people, is in the people. Okay? So we are the almighty people with all political power over all the government, and at all times, we own that corporation. All right, Utah, we the people. Vermont, it says here, doesn't have a preamble. Look it up and see if it does. Virginia, it says here, the good people. Ooh, we the people, we're the good people. All right. Okay, Washington, we the people. West Virginia, we the people. Wisconsin, we the people. Wyoming, we the people. United States Constitution, this is the 51 Constitution. You see, I told you there were 51, but you already knew that, right? I mean, I didn't know that. Okay, I didn't know this. I didn't know any of this stuff, you guys. I mean, I knew there was a Constitution. I knew there was the United States Constitution, but I didn't know that they had to swear to the state constitution, the United States Constitution, and what that meant. I didn't know they had treason. I didn't know they had to listen to us. I didn't know they had to treat us like queens. I didn't know, and kings. I didn't know they're supposed to treat us with respect, with goodness and love, and give us kisses, in the air. They're supposed to be really, really nice to us. I didn't know that, but now I do. 51 United States District of Columbia, we the people. Okay, this place, United States, remember, I'll show you later on the map. Look it up, District of Columbia, you'll see where the United States is, and it has its own constitution, and guess what? Guess what, you guys? We the people hired the United States, the employees, the indentured servants in the United States to do how many things, you guys? How many things did we hire them to do? Did we hire them to do 100 things, 50 things, 10 things? How many things did we hire them to do? Because just like the butcher guy needs to stay do the meats, give me that steak, give me that, whatever your favorite, skirt meat or whatever, T-bone, whatever your favorite is. Give me that pork chop, whatever it is, the chicken, the fish, whatever. It's out there. He knows how to slice it, dice it, and store it, and know when it's bad, throw it away, whatever. He knows his job. He has to do it. The cash register gal, guy, they're nice to the people, to the customers. They, present themselves with a special clean uniform, that no blood on it from the meat. And they know how to take the money and give the change back. They know their job. Everyone knows their job, but if they don't know their job, they shouldn't be working there, and you can fire them. You can fire them. And we told these indentured servants here to do 18 things. How many? 18 things. How many? What? We told them to do 18 things. If they do 19 or 20 or 50 or 60, are they still staying in their department? Are they staying in the job we gave them to do in their assigned positions? Or are they somewhere else doing something else without permission? Permission without authority, without granted authority that comes from the people, the ones that pay their check. We give them their pay. And we'll talk about that later on, if they're really, really supposed to take that much money from us. So we're going to talk about that, God willing. If I don't tell you about it, someone else is going to tell you, because God heard us. Pray to Him, and He's here now. Well, He was always here, but He's helping us. He's helping us, because there's going to be judgment. And all the evil people that want to disrespect God, and they think they can just do what they want, there's no consequence. Well, there is a consequence. Shame on them, right? For hurting people, for having no care for someone else, for another human. They're hurting. Shame on those naughty indentured servants. How shameful they are. They're just terrible, terrible. Okay, so anyway, so it says here, all right, so this, when they when they take their oath and they subscribe to their oath, they are now bound as though in chains. They're bound. They're almost like slaves. I see, they're almost like slaves, because if they harm us, there's that word treason to deal with. So they can't really say they didn't know. Do you believe them when they say they didn't read the constitutions and the bills of rights and declarations of rights when they were supposed to give their oath, take their oath, subscribe, and they're supposed to be smart and able to read? They're literate, and did they understand? I mean, they're supposed to be really, really smart and know vocabulary bigger than ours, right? They constantly use it at us, which, do you think that's a benefit to you when they use humongous words instead of simplifying their words? Do you think that's a benefit to you, to me, to us, to understand what mumbo jumbo, ambiguous, convoluted words, what they're trying to say? Especially when they change the definition, especially when they change the meaning. Does that benefit you? It doesn't benefit me. I'd rather that they explain it clearly and stop using all these double negatives and using all these words that, look, not all of the people went to the university. Not all of us have the university professor language. Okay, we didn't. And so sad they didn't educate us when we were younger. They were supposed to educate us properly. We shouldn't be the last in the world in education. No. I want our kids to be the first in education, to be the most well educated, the best prepared. Why not? Why not? We pay them a lot of money. They seem to need so much money for schools. They seem to be needing the PTA to help them bring more money in. Oh my gosh, we need the PTA money. Donate here, donate. Oh, don't. What about all the money that we already give them? Why can't they? You know that when I was younger and I worked in a school when I was going to college, do you know that they told me not to teach the kids phonetics? How to decipher those letters, how to understand the sounds that each of those letters can make. The I, the four-letter I, they don't know that. They wanted me to teach the kids like picture reading, like they see the word and they have to memorize the entire word by like a picture. Identify each. Could you imagine memorizing, not knowing what each letter makes and the combinations and of letters, what sounds they make when they are combined, when they're side by side, what sounds? They told me I wasn't supposed to teach the kids that, and then they assigned me to a group of kids that were the troublemakers in the class, the slow learners of the class. And you know what? I didn't give them the finger. I didn't even give them the mental finger. What I did is I did what's right. And I taught these little kids, when the teacher wasn't looking, I taught them phonetics. So if they're going to slap me with something, okay, I'm guilty of that. I taught them how to make the sounds when the TH are together. What about the GH when they're together, when their little friends are together? What sounds can those little letters make? So the kids all of a sudden started reading better and faster than the other kids that were not in my group. They started actually reading, and then the principal came in to see what was going on. What's going on? Okay, I don't understand this. These are supposed to be the slow kids, the little troublemakers. And did you know they were not even troublemakers? They just needed someone to talk to them and identify what their needs were. They felt frustrated they couldn't learn. They felt like the other kids are learning and they're not. They felt embarrassed. They felt like they're less. They don't have to feel that. They don't have to be that. Our job is to find a way to help them learn. They learn in different ways. They learn in different ways. And you find how it is, you catch how it is that they're learning, and you go, oh, I know, this is how they like to learn. This is how they get it. I'm going to teach them this, and they get it. Well, they failed us. They failed us and didn't teach us the constitutions. They didn't teach us our rights. They didn't teach us our individual rights and how powerful they are. They didn't teach us that. But I see that they have these weird ideas. No, don't teach them correctly. Teach them. Why aren't we the number one in education with our kids? So when they graduate, they should really, in high school, when they graduate high school, they already should be like in a career. They should already know so much. So much. Why do they make it hard? And I look at the books. I'm going to ramble for a minute. As you could turn off the video if you want to at this point. But I'm going to tell you, I homeschooled. I have 8 kids, whatever. I homeschooled. And at time ago, I used to have money. And I'll tell you later why I don't have that money right now. But I used to buy so many books. And I wanted to have, at homeschooling, I had all, because I wanted to compare everything to give my kids the best, right? So I even got the books from school, that kind of book when they sell them used or whatever. And they were the most ridiculous books I ever saw. They make the kids guess what they're supposed to learn. They don't piece things in order. They don't put things in order to build. Like, this information has to sit here so that this one can sit here, and then this one can sit here so that they can understand and build on it. They don't do that. They mix it here, they mix it there. They don't categorize things and build on it gradually. They don't do that, and they don't guide them. They should not only give them the full nice little picture, yes, that's good, but they should tell them precisely what it is they are to memorize. And guess what? The more they memorize when they're young, it exercises their brain, and they become more capable of memorization. They retain so much. My kids they'd know Shakespeare by heart. I would give them something to memorize. Boom, done. I'm ready to play. Oh, really? Let me see. Check it out. Huh? What? Okay. Say it. What's this? And they would dun 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 on the beat, like a recorder. Because the more they exercise the brain when they're younger, it's like a muscle. It's kind of like that. The easier it becomes to memorize later. But oh my goodness, when do you think they teach the kids languages? Do you think they teach the kids languages when they're in elementary school, or do they wait till they're in high school when it's harder and not natural? What do you think is best? We have a world we need to communicate with. I know some groups of people that teach all of their kids at least 5 languages. You hear them speaking very well all those languages. They don't mix them. They don't go Spanglish. They don't do that. They speak each separate language, at least 5. Only in America, we wait till they're in high school. Is that okay by you? We can correct that. We can correct that. We are the all-powerful, we the people, owners and bosses of all government. We can correct that. We can have the best educated kids with the best careers. Imagine the talents that would come out with all the kids being educated, all the inventions if they weren't suppressed, all the ideas and the talents. Is just it sounds Wonderful. Also, you guys, teach your kids, if you can't afford an instrument, to teach your kids how to play the piano, the guitar, the violin, the flute. If they can't afford an instrument, teach them to sing. But teach them music. Why? Because it connects the brain in a certain way. It makes memorizing. It makes communicating with the different parts of the brain a lot better. You know why? Because we were created by God to praise Him with song, with music. So it's a reward. It's a reward when we study music. You'll notice when the kids that study music, you think, oh, they're excelling here. Oh, they must be these little geniuses or whatever. Little did you know that your little kid could be just like genius, just like the other kids, and they didn't have music. They didn't get music. Notice in school they only get about 30 kids who get selected somehow. And oh, sorry, little Johnny, you don't get a violin this year. You'll have to buy your own, or you'll have to wait till next year because we ran out of instruments. No, we're in America. Every single child should know music, should know how to play an instrument, should know how to sing, should know how to build something, should have pretty much a career done by high school, speak 5 languages. They can do it. They can. They really can. But don't let your kids down. Work for them. Help them. Correct your government, the naughty ones. And our group will show you how to do it. I'm going to end the video right here, and there's so much more to learn, really. Remember this, they're bound like slaves. They are punishable by treason if they harm us. You can't do that to some regular anyone. Okay, so now I'm going to go from here, page 41. I'm going to see if I can get down to where I'm going to go and show you where I got this information. I was going to teach you all this stuff. Okay, or introduce you to it. All right, see this wonderful saint of a man? I mean, I'm talking. He is smart. No, he is beyond smart. He is a genius. I'm talking like, what the heck is going on here? Genius. How did that happen? Genius. But you know what? God chose him to be a genius, because every good gift comes from God, and he chooses, he gives to who he wills, and he takes away whenever he wants to. He gives and he takes. It's his business. We belong to him, and he chose this wonderful man. Oh, I love him. He's such a genius, and he's a Christian. He's a Christian. He's good. He's good. He loves us. You see, look at where it says, Dave cares for you. Oh my gosh, he cares for us. He proves it. He proves it. Hold on a second. Okay, this man here, he has his faults. I know he remembers when I corrected him something. I told him in a private message. Yeah, oh, Dave, this is this. I said something. Anyway, he's not a perfect man. Nobody is. No one is. He is so good. He is so loving. He cares about look at Dave cares for you. That's where you're going to find him. Dave cares for you. You come on. His name is Dave Jose. He's David Jose, and we call him Dave lovingly. Okay, and if you go here, www.restoremyrepublic.com, you can sign up, put in your email, and you'll get information to connect with him. All right, you can find him. He'll be in Telegram. There's a bunch of groups there that we can all chat, discuss things, talk about the law, the highest law in this United States of America, the one that helps you. We're going to teach you as best as we can. We're going to help you, okay? We're going to help each other. Now, you'll find him in Telegraph, Odyssey, YouTube, Rumble, and so many places all over the place, okay? But Dave cares for you. And oh, I wrote here affidavit mamas because I wanted to mention them, and other people too. Affidavit mamas, you gotta research them. Oh, you made it too big. Look them up. I was gonna put their link right here, but I forgot. Sorry, I had to feed the baby. This is a baby bird. Look at, see this? I don't know if you can see. This little baby bird, right there. He's a little tiny little guy, and he wasn't doing so well. Maybe it was too hot or something, and so I have him here. He's feeling better now, and so I'll put him back where he goes, but I just want to watch him. But anyway, I was doing this, and I'm trying to do this other thing too and help you, because we're going to help each other. Okay, so you'll find him in Telegraph, Odyssey, YouTube, Rumble, and like Twitter, and I think they removed him from Facebook or something. I don't know. And they're trying to get rid of him from YouTube because he tells us the truth, you guys. He tells us the truth. That's why. Affidavit mamas, they help you. They help you. They have affidavits and notices. We have affidavits and notices already. Join our group. Begin the work of correcting your servants, because you want to do this for your loved ones. You have those that you love. Do you want them to grow up with tyrants? You don't want that. Look, do you know that when the kids put all their time to get a career, and they owe money, university, they get a career, right? Guess what? Oh, engineers. They're hiring people from other countries, bringing them here instead of your kids that live here. They give the jobs to other people. They bring them, fly them in, and they pay them less so that your kids won't have some kids, yeah, they get their jobs in there, but not all of them. Not all of them that graduate get their career, or they teach them some career that doesn't go anywhere. That's not right. So we have to do the work for our kids, for their kids. Correct just the bad ones. Correct them. If they're good ones, let's praise them. Let's, say good job, good and faithful servant, because they have to be faithful. Good and faithful servant. You did well. We like that. But the naughty ones, hold them to account. Hold them to account. If they continue to be naughty, if they refuse to repent, apply justice. Okay, it's they want mercy, or they want justice. Okay. All right. So here's Dave Jose. Thank you guys. I'm gonna let you go, and I'll do another video hopefully tomorrow. God bless you. God protect you. God bless us. God protect us. Okay. Let's see how to do this.